It's a vibe, it's a mood, it's a feeling. Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing once again something a little different. I will be reacting to Lil Nas X's new album Montero. I literally have sat here for 5 minutes trying to figure out how to properly pronounce it because I didn't want to muck it up. We're gonna get into the album. I'm super excited for this. Old Town Road is such a big thing. Funny enough, in my line of work outside of YouTube, that song is quite popular with my clientele that I deal with, and they love it. I got so obsessed with listening to his music and his progression in when he came out, and all the songs he's put out kind of afterwards have been bop after bop, and you can't deny that like Call Me By Your Name song, Montero, is like an absolute banger. But the most crazy moment for me is hearing an 11-year-old person hum that tune just like back to you without even knowing the context and everything, and you're like, I know the meaning of the song, but I don't think that kid did. And I was just like, ooh, yep, okay, moving on. That's a funny story for you guys, 100%. So yeah, this album has so many things, and I feel like this album has been coming for so long that I am so ready for it. And the music videos, the visuals, the album campaign has been next level, and it is partly the reason why I was so invested in actually doing this reaction video, because I know the campaign to promote this album has been freaking enormous. Like the TikTok campaign, the billboards, the like whole pregnancy thing, and there is so much behind this campaign that it has made the album so buzzy. And literally, yes, this album for me in Australia has been out for more than 24 hours. I have been sitting on the fence, right, to do this for weeks. The minute it got announced, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do it. But I got so busy yesterday and I didn't get a chance to listen to it. And then I noticed how many people were obsessed with it. I'm like, if I don't do this, I am missing out on prime content-worthy material. So I kind of had a nice, good night's sleep and woke up this morning and I'm like, yes, I am so ready to do this. So we're gonna crack in. Can I just point out how kind of upset I am that the first song, Montero, Call Me By Your Name, is not the extended version. I freaking love the extended version even more than the original, and it's purely because of like the bridge kind of section that I lose my mind every time. It's in the music video, it's not on the album, it's in an EP version. I don't really mind, but I listened to that one more than the original, and now that like I have the album, it's gonna stress me out, but who cares? So that first song, obviously I've already heard. I've also heard Industry Baby and Sun Goes Down. Wasn't the biggest fan of Sun Goes Down, but definitely loved the other two. The Jack Harlow collab was amazing. Oh, this whole visual situation for this album has been incredible. So we're kind of gonna go, well, I guess it makes sense to kind of still play the main lead, the lead single, but romantic talking, you don't even have to try. You're cute enough to fuck with me tonight. Go. Call me when you want, call me when you need, call me in the morning, I'll be on the way. Literally though, like, I love that song, and the original is still a banger, right? Like, it has so many things. The verses are incredible. There's so many references to like gay sex that we're kind of like, oh, queen, this is representation here in this track, and I love it. Every time it comes on, I'm like, yep, getting in my vibes and like whatever. So vibing it. But like I said at the beginning, I totally listened to the extended version. No hate to the original, but just that breakdown just goes off and it just gets in my blood and makes it like just vibe. Anyway, the next track is called Dead Right Now. Isn't that funny how we're like dead right now after already listening to the first track? It's like he knew. Let's get into it. First track I haven't heard, so I am pumped to see what the vibe is.
You know I never did you wrong. You wanna fuck with me so bad right now. Oh, now you can't. Hallelujah, how'd you do it? You've been on my mind, you've been running me so far. Keep me that way now. Treat you like you're dead right now. Treat you like you're dead right now.
Wow, that track was so different. Like, talk about like where the first track starts, and then that was very like catchy. Like that chorus, I had that chorus down. Like by the second time I was like, instrumental, love. I feel like this album is gonna have so many like cool, catchy, unique instrumentals that I'm gonna be vibing with. Because if you don't really realize with me, like instrumental was like my first click for a song. Lyrics I pick up down the track. Like normally it's the second, third, fourth, maybe 10th listen because I'm like that. But definitely the instrumental and the vibe of the track is that lures me in. Anyway, I really like that track. That was a really good bop. It was it took a different level compared to where the first track, and knowing the third track is Industry Baby, it definitely took a bit of like that dip in like intensity, but definitely still pretty cool. And yeah, it was really good. So like the next track, obviously I'm obsessed with. It's Industry Baby. Everyone's been talking about this for so long. Their VMA performance for it was mwah, it was so good. I watched it like 10 times in like one sitting. Yeah. Guys, I hope you guys just enjoyed me like bopping out to that song that like freaking slays. The music video is incredible. How many people like went back and rewatched that music video and like remember that time that he posted the like exposed uncensored shower scene and it just like hovered at the shower head for like the rest of the video? Funny. So the next track is pretty much his next music video that once again I have not watched for the sake of this reaction. It's called That's What I Want. I feel like I heard a snippet in one of his like trailers, and it was freaking dope. So I'm expecting big things from this track, especially if he's dropped a music video that lots of people are vibing with as well. So I'm so excited to get into that. But yeah, let's do it. That's what I want.
These days are way too long, and I'm not forgiving, love away, but I want. That's what I fucking want. Woo! And I feel like it'll be okay and everything's alright. Let me in the way, but I want.
That's gonna be such a good song for me to bop to, like, and actually connect really deeply to. Mate, there wasn't much to that song, not gonna lie. Like, it was pretty much 2 verses in the chorus and an interesting kind of breakdown outro type of thing, but still, like, he does not produce a bad song, right? Like, even though it might not be like completely as like freaking crazy like some of the other ones that we've listened to, it's still good, right? Like, we're still sitting here bopping. Like, you're watching this and you're still bopping along, right? Literally, that's what's happening here. It's so good and it's so, I just don't understand how this happens. Vibing, it's a vibe, it's a mood, it's a feeling. This next track is called The Art of Realization. It's only 24 seconds long. So I feel like it's one of those interludes that goes into scoop. So what we might do is we might just listen to the interlude and then go into scoop, which features Doja Cat, which I really vibe her. Like, I really enjoyed her like Planet Her album. I definitely liked that too. So we might just do that. Okay, let's go. We're going 2 tracks back to back, The Art of Realization and Scoop featuring Doja Cat, because I'm anticipating this being an interlude into the next song.
Direction. I'm heading towards you in a specific place. What's that for who? Is it for me? Am I happy? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Sure.
Do it.
Working on my body. Damn, I'm just trying to beat it daily. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Looking in my wrist and watch it hit back. My ex in my phone trying to get back. Fucking chit chat. Ain't fucking guns when I ask where you kick at. I been.
Tomorrow is my day off. All them bars so savvy, take a look at the payoff.
Bye.
I need it in a Bentley. Hey, they might write cheek and
I really only need you for the night. Can I scoop?
Dang. I really liked that I listened to those back to back because they didn't ruin the transition between the 2 tracks. That was such a bop. Like, it's a vibe, it's mood, it's just like, yeah, once again, I'm not picking up the lyrics, but definitely loving it. It's really cool, and Doja made a really good feature on that track. Like, I really liked her like voice and her how it kind of blended really, really well with the instrumental and Lil Nas X's. Like, it worked really, really well, and it's kind of like, it didn't feel out of place. It felt like it was always meant to be there. Really good, and I feel like what's gonna happen with this album is that this first listen is very tame, and then as I listen to it over and over and again, the tracks are gonna like seep into my soul a bit more, and I'm gonna enjoy them even more than I'm kind of presenting right now. Pretty much track 7 of the album. There's 15 tracks, so we're kind of navigating that middle point of the album. It's called One of Me, and it features Elton freaking John. Like, this guy, debut album, has a feature from Elton John. Like, what? I'm actually very curious to see how this turns out. It's gonna be one of those like soft emotional tracks, isn't it? And then next minute it just breaks down into a rap track.
Say you wanted me, say you wanted me, yeah, yeah. Say you wanted me, say you wanted me. Tell me that you think you on top of your last creation. I don't like that. Do this shit, don't you do that. Oh, you think you big shit, big pimpin', let me know. Ain't the next big thing, you the next thing to go.
Guys, did I miss the Elton John section? How does that feature Elton John? Is he in the background vocals? I guess, you know how some people like record features in different ways? So like, it could be one of those ones where he's like a songwriter or like produced it a little bit, and maybe, I don't know. But anyway, in terms of the actual song, I really liked it. I feel like that song was really about kind of the crazy nature that he's kind of gone through these last few years with like his image and doing what he wants and what people are expecting from him. And I just kept thinking, this seems like such a message to the haters, or the perspective of people that don't understand what he's doing and why he's doing it, and don't realize like the power and influence and representation that he is portraying and the barriers he is breaking down. I feel like he's written this in the perspective of the person over there judging him and like all of that, and I really liked it. I think it's such a cool thing to have in the album because it kind of is still relatable. Like, yes, we're not producing multi-platinum selling singles, right? But we still have those people that tell us like those types of things in everyday life, and like it's really cool to have a song written in, I guess, the thought of their perspective, and hearing it back when you're listening to that, it's kind of like motivating to just let them go and just throw them in the trash, because like everybody has them, right? They might not be necessarily internet haters, but we've got people that in our lives, we've got people that like don't vibe with us, or don't really like us, or can't stand us, or like, you know, and this is really relatable to kind of like process and all of that, especially for being who you are in like the LGBTQ plus like community. That is such a cool track to have on your debut album. That is very, very pride energy going. So really cool, but definitely I'm going to be researching later on how that track features Elton John. Maybe it's background vocals that I missed, I don't know. I apologize if you guys already know what the background or the Elton John feature is and I'm completely being silly, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get on to the next track. It's called it's called Lost in the Citadel. Literally, when I hear the word Citadel, I just think of Game of Thrones 610 and they blow that church to the sky high. Which you can watch my reaction to that on my channel. Just go for a search. It's probably one of my most popular uploaded videos. So yeah, anyway, let's get to the track. Whoa.
Tell me, are you feeling down?
Whoa! Different. Whoa!
Thought you were someone like you've been to, so I hit you like what you getting into.
Wow. Okay, something I realized with that song is that this album does not fit in one genre. It literally could fit in so many different genres, and I'm completely off, I know I am, but like I was getting like that punk type of vibe with that track. It didn't go full punk rock, but like it had that tingy vibe to it. I think this album is registered as a pop album, which definitely records that kind of pop punky, it's probably like that pop track, but punk inspired. I would definitely think it's related to him finding someone that he feels comfortable and connected to in that romantic sense of the word. So that's a really cool vibe, and you can see that it's kind of changing a little bit. Or he's finding himself or not finding himself, or forgetting and finding and forgetting and finding and all this crap. So really, really cool and really vibe. So the next one is $sign Slime, which features Megan Thee Stallion. I'm pretty sure that's how we say it. No, Megan Thee Stallion. Sorry, I apologize. I mucked that up. Let's go, $sign Slime. This, come on.
Y'all take it with me, y'all gon' wear it up.
Woo!
I'm the same dollar sign, but the Adidas different. Y'all take it with me, y'all gon' wear it up. Fuck what they talk about, who's in the whereabouts. I walk in Neiman's and Marcus, I'm married up. Walking the bank, say fucking let's clear it up.
Real high shit.
Oh!
Say I can't do it, bitch, watch me. All you lame hoes turn hate to a hobby. Miss one, catch one, hang with fish. But if he throwing that broad, and I can't hook you doing your job. All these hoes in the...
Interesting track, but definitely loved it. Such a vibe, really cool, really cool. Definitely, I want to say it's a trumpet. The kind of sound that was in Industry, Baby, I think. And that it's such a signature instrument, I think, for him. I'm just putting it out there. Like, when he puts that instrument into a song, it literally elevates and sounds so good. Definitely the one thing that bugs me about his songs is the length of them. They, like, some of his best songs navigate within that 2-minute 220 second type range, and I'm just like, I just want a longer track. But at the same time, if you're gonna produce like those longer tracks and they're not as good and they don't hit, then it's probably better to leave it the way it is. Look at me complaining about every little thing. I don't know. I am totally vibing this album, do not get me wrong. I feel like Megan's verse though was very short. I don't know if her other features that she normally features on are that short, but I feel like, I don't know, I wanted something a little bit longer from her, I think. Look at me being so critical. Ugh. Anyway, the next one is called Tales of Demonica. Demonica. So let's just vibe, let's get into it. This could be slow, like vibe type of thing.
Sometimes rain, sometimes hurt. Moving in my roses, say this, say I'm really gone. Ain't nothing like I hope you would be. Oh, the plastic boy that don't go no more. Roses, say this, say hold my little bit of hope, don't fade away.
Interesting track, right? I don't think I vibed with that as much, but I think what got me liking that track is just appreciating his voice. Like, I literally just had a thought while I was listening to that track. I'm like, mate, I love his voice. Like, it just does something to you. I don't even understand it, but like every time you hear him, either his rapping voice or his like partly spoken singing voice, or like kind of like anything he's done in this album with his voice, I'm like, I actually really like it. And I feel like that brings you into enjoying the song. I don't know what it is about it, right? Because it's just so unique and it has this tone that I'm just like, mate, you could just, can you like do that with like the ABC song or like Happy Birthday or whatever? And I'd be like, #1 single. Next track is actually Sun Goes Down, which I've heard before, and definitely something I think had taken me quite a while to get familiar with. It has such a deep meaning, which once I kind of absorb myself in the meaning of the track, I really understood it a lot better. And so anyway, we're not gonna listen to that track again because, you know, it's pretty just be much the same. So we're gonna get to something that I have not heard, and that's track number 12. So we've got 4 tracks to go, and it's called Void. So this could be very interesting. The title is very ominous as well, so who knows what this could be. I like that it carries from Sun Goes Down too.
To let you know that all in all, it ain't all it's. Lately I've been feeling small, there's a star in the sea. Find it out again.
Woo! So different. We've hit the emotional part of the album for sure. What a like just sit in your emotions song. If you think about it, like how crazy is this album in terms of like songs? You have literally songs that just make you dirty dance on the floor to that song that makes me just want to sit in the corner of this couch and like put a hoodie on and cry. How the does that happen? Like literally, that is insane. As I said, his voice is next level. It's not like, we're not talking outstanding vocal performances. I'm not talking about that when I'm looking at the voice. I'm just talking about how his tone of voice makes you feel something. Whether it's like pretty like damn good and feeling yourself mood, or it's like emotions and like making you feel something different, or realizing truth, or feeling comfortable in your skin. Like, I don't know what it is, but it literally does that. This is what this album does. It's so next level, and it's just gonna change the universe. Just saying out there, it's gonna change the universe. And the next track, funny enough, is actually called Don't Want It. So I don't know what that's gonna mean, but I'm kind of curious to see what's gonna happen with it. So I'm not even gonna talk about it or make predictions. We're just gonna play. Oh, it's building. I like that build up.
It's gonna be alright. I smoke myself.
Woo!
I think I'm from the money. Started thinking in my soup bag to be funny.
Lil Nas X. The #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100, Call Me By Your Name.
Only happiness, only forgiveness.
Wow.
Started thinking. I know everything's gonna be alright. Tell everybody you know.
Wow, I really vibed to that track. Like, especially coming from Void, that track hit on a new level. And I actually kind of understand what he's talking about. So he's kind of like that snippet of like the award show interview type thing. It's not an interview, it's more like award show announcing his awards and his fame and all that. Was a really cool component to add to the song. And I kind of love when artists chuck in like voice recordings or like voicemails or news things. Like, it's really cool, and it adds that new element to the track. And he's kind of talking about his fame and how it's crazy how he wanted all this and then he got it and it came to fruition, but I kind of don't know what he doesn't want. With 2 tracks to go, I'm kind of curious to see how the album's going to end. And he's like, visually this album is so cool, and the tracks don't disappoint, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not disappointed at all with how this is going. It's a really cool album, and I feel like I've really enjoyed this, and I can see myself listening to this a few more times and really picking up the love for this album even more. So let's go. The next one's called Life After Salem. Oh. Whoa.
I left on the floor. What you want from me? What you want from me?
Whoa. Holy crap. How many different moments are there in this album? Like, genuinely though. Like, how many different vibes do you have in this? I just can't even process. Like, we've had so many different like things that like, it's literally such a like wave type of album where you come and go into different moods and feelings and vibes and stories, and I just can't process what I've just listened to. Very cool. Not really what I was expecting. Definitely didn't expect this many kind of like slower type of songs. I really just thought it was kind of gonna be like bang, 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 bang of like the high tempo, dancey type stuff that Industry Baby and all those kind of fall into. But I like the pleasant surprise in it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't deliver what I think everyone would have thought he would have delivered. And that makes it an even better album, because you don't expect what there's something that you think you're gonna get, and then you get something else and it's great and it's unexpected, and that's why the hype delivered, right? If he delivered a bad album with all the hype, ooh, that would not have gone down well. But I feel like he's lived up to the hype, 100% there. So this next and last track of the album is crazy because when I saw this feature, I was like, this is so cool. It's Am I Dreaming featuring Miley Cyrus. Oh my gosh, I love Miley Cyrus. I love her so much, it's so cool. So I'm very curious to see how they vibe together in a song. I am so excited. It's the last track, it's the last thing we're gonna get. You know, we've got 14 like full tracks with one interlude in this album, and I think that was a really good number. I think it wasn't too much and it wasn't too little to feel like I just need more. It was a very good number of tracks, in my personal opinion. And with the last track, let's do it. Is that Miley in the background? Wow. Wasn't what I was expecting, to be honest. Wow. That's the album.
There's no going back.
Okay, I wasn't expecting the way it ended. But then I kind of respect that there was that many songs that were a bit more somber and emotional, and I guess this really I feel like when you name, like his stage name is Lil Nas X, right? But he has put his real name as the title of this album. Literally, if you're gonna put your name, your real name on your debut album, you need to show your whole story. And I feel like, well, you don't have to really, but it's normally a big thing to do. And I really think he delivered with this album. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I think sometimes your expectations, because of the way the singles were, you expect so much bigger things. But even though my expectations weren't necessarily what the reality was, I wasn't disappointed. Like, I'm not sitting here going, what was that? Like, what was all the hype for? I feel like the hype was justified. It wouldn't have been this album without the hype, for sure. It definitely won't sell, it definitely wouldn't have sold as good as I think it will without this album promo, because this guy knows how to sell stuff, right? It won't go undeserved though. I feel like this album did deliver, and it had so many different moments in there that I guess I wasn't expecting. It had definitely tracks that I'm like, yes, this is what I was waiting for. But then there's so many emotional tracks in there that I can't wait to kind of like post video, like research and look into a bit more deeper about the lyrics and the story behind it, and make my own personal connections to these songs, because I feel like I will really enjoy these songs a lot and relate to them and connect to them and whatnot. And you know, also something I didn't do that I'm gonna do before I finish this video is, I didn't do this in my Halsey video, but I'm gonna give you my like top 5 tracks of the album that I really, really loved. Instant first listen tracks. I'm gonna say definitely Scoop, That's What I Want, were like top 2 for the new kind of tracks. Montero, Call Me By Your Name, is like always gonna be up there. And Industry Baby, definitely. And I feel like Don't Want It was a vibe too, but then $sign Slime was pretty good as well. So many different ones, but I definitely have my top 4. 2 of some of the ones I've already listened to, 2 of some of the new ones, so that was really cool. But I want to thank you guys for watching this reaction. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I really, really love doing these videos. So if you did enjoy it, make sure you give a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, make sure to click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And that is all I got, so I'll see you guys next time.